Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. I'm back with this month's guest programmer, writer, actor, and funny man Greg Proops, who's the star of the great series, Whose Line Is It Anyway? And we love you on that show.
Well, thank you.
The next movie that Greg selected from our vaults is a 1973 adventure tale, The Three Musketeers, a version starring Oliver Reed, Raquel Welch, Richard Chamberlain, Michael York's in it, Charlton Heston, Faye Dunaway. I mean, name the person that isn't in this. Now, it's such an interesting movie, I think, because give us a little of the background of this film before we decide why you picked it.
Well, it's the Dumas classic, and it's probably the third or fourth remake at this point, by the 70s. Right. I think this is the sexiest one. I think the cast is really hot. Obviously, Raquel Welch and Faye Dunaway are in top form. Right. They made this picture and the Four Musketeers all at once, and told the cast they were making one movie called The Three Musketeers.
A long movie.
Yes, a very long movie. So they shot for ages in Europe, and then when the picture came out, it was only one movie, and then the next picture came out like a year later, and everybody sued.
And they weren't going to pay him.
No, they only paid them for one movie. So it ended up being two wonderful movies, this being the first part, and then The Four Musketeers being the sequel to it. But I think they all ended up getting their money in the end. They did. And it was the man who produced Superman, Ilya Salkind, or the Christopher Reeve Superman.
But not that there haven't always been sharks in the movie business, but there really were sharks at that point. I mean, nobody, the movie business didn't really have any form to it at all. And everybody was pulling deals like this all over Europe and in Hollywood and everywhere.
Well, this is a big international production. Right. And they got all these international stars to be in it from all these different countries. And I think they just sort of bilked them into saying, well, oh, we're making The Three Musketeers, don't worry about it. And then, hey, my agent didn't get me money for The Four Musketeers. Where's that one? And there's four of us in both. So
why did you pick this movie?
Well, I picked it because it's my favorite version of it. The Gene Kelly one is fabulous. The Charlie Sheen one, we can argue all night long. But this one, I think, is really hot stuff. The reason is, it's humorous. George MacDonald Fraser, who wrote all the Flashman books, did the screenplay of this. So I think he keeps true to Dumas with lots of humor. And it combines, because Richard Lester directed it, has the energy of a Beatles movie and all the humor of a Beatles movie with all the swash of a great Errol Flynn type movie. The sword fighting is tremendous. The cast is dead sexy, and it's got all that detail in it because Richard Lester, you know, there's a scene where there's little people with candy on their head when they're in the palace at Versailles, and people are eating candy, and you can hear them talking to each other. He took one from my plate, right? Like, only Richard Lester adds those kind of things in it. They're running a hand crank carousel in one scene when Geraldine Chaplin's the queen, and she's spinning around, and they're complaining. The torturers are torturing someone in one scene, and Cardinal Richelieu, Charlton Heston, finds a potato where the branding irons go and looks at them, and they all go like that, you know. And so there's plenty of comedy in it too. It's not just historical. And everybody is a great stage fighter. Obviously, Richard Chamberlain's wonderful as Aramis because he's so preeny and prissy and chasing girls and studying for the priesthood at the same time. But Oliver Reed evidently was such a brawler, and he's so full of fury in this movie that I think he's really the emotional center of it. When they had to do the sword fights, and you'll see how Oliver Reed fights in this movie, he grabs whatever's near him and he throws it at people. He's got his cape thrown around, he's knocking guys down. The stuntmen hated fighting him because that's how he really fought. There was no choreography with him, he would just come at you. And so every day, apparently, when the fight scenes were up, the stuntmen were like, you fight him today. Yeah. He's gonna crack my head.
We'll stand in the back of the set, yeah. We also have to say that these actors at this point were all at the top of their game. They were all very hot at this point.
Oh no, they're all international superstars.
Yeah. So let's see the movie. Here from 1973, directed by Richard Lester, The Three Musketeers.